Welcome to a new Harry's Garage video, and I'm back at Iain Tyrrell's workshop, which I'm overjoyed at because the Espada has been moving on. Now, since the last report, which was the 16th of February looking back, everything's changed, as we all know, and the lockdown restrictions came in, and there's been a huge pause in the progress of the Espada. But over the last few weeks, things have started to happen again. We were waiting for the cylinder heads to come back. They had the valve shims to be done, things like that. And the engine has now been assembled, and today is the day when it gets put back in the car. So I've come up to witness the engine going back in the car. There's chuntering that we might even be able to start it by the end of the day. No promises, let's see how it happens. But it's going to be quite a tricky one with the current restrictions of how to film this one. I'm hoping the sound is going to be okay. We're putting it on the mic, and it's just the social distance and how we do it. I'm going to be mainly behind the camera on this one rather than me standing next to Iain and chatting together, because there's the risk that the 2 meters is going to be too tricky to comply with. So I'm going to be behind the camera for most of this one, but it's just after 10 o'clock in the morning, and the guys are going to crack on, and we're going to get this engine in the Espada. All changed, isn't it? My goodness, we've been through a few things since we last were here.
Yes.
But I'm really pleased that you've managed to, progress this, and the engine has continued. And now today, I just love the look of it. Completes in this big day. Trying to recap, last time I was up here, we've just put in the pistons in. So quite a lot has happened since, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, if just to recap, I had the pistons specially made in the US, so they are lighter and they're forged instead of cast. So they're more suitable for high RPM, and actually the throttle response with the new pistons in should be fantastic because they're super light. Okay.
You've tried an engine with them before, and you were surprised. You were telling me on the phone that it just revs quicker, doesn't it?
It's like a bike engine. Yeah.
Oh, can't wait.
Even with the standard flywheel on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're coming to that. Yeah. Just for background, anybody who hadn't watched the previous ones, one of the little things I asked for was, I hope to be able to go to 8,000 RPM occasionally, because that's what a Countach and Miura engine can, and there was slight restrictions with the Espada engine why it couldn't. There's no red line on the rev counter, but they then put one at 7.2. So 7.2 is the sort of red limit, but we're hoping on this engine it will just go past 7.5 quite happily. So we're just inbuilt. It won't produce any more power because we're not actually changing the cams or anything, but we have that ability, don't we?
Yes.
And there's another change, wasn't it? Because the flywheel. I can't remember what was the change with the flywheel.
Well, what we've done, this is just a bit of doing it for a while experience, if you will. This is actually off a Miura, but it's the same. Your clutch is the same conceptually. Originally, they're riveted on.
Okay.
The linings, but what happens is at high RPM, the weight of the friction material actually its centrifugal force, it explodes effectively, it flies off.
That's not good.
No, that's not good. No. So I've preempted things by having a new lining put on, but also it's bonded. Normally on a non-bonded clutch plate, this plate here is sort of wavy.
Okay.
Because it's only the rivets that are holding it together.
Right.
This one's been bonded, so the friction material doesn't explode at high revs.
Well. So another little touch. So we've done quite a lot, haven't we? You've done the valve springs, which
have been specially made.
Specially made, one off for this. The piston's been forged rather than cast.
Yeah.
They're the key changes, aren't they? To be able to rev. And it's now ready to go in. And the other thing we're just looking at, I gave Iain not a lot of notice, but I wanted these Lamborghini script done, highlighted so you file off, don't you? So it was a last minute panic, but I think it looks terrific. It's worth doing with the out of the black crackle, because it was only for special customers, Lamborghini customers, who got that originally, wasn't it?
That is exact. They did this in period for exactly. Yes.
Just that.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised how much it's actually been built up. So you got the manifolds on before putting it in. Carbs are on as well.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an access thing, I'm guessing, isn't it?
It's I mean, some people, different schools of thought. Some people put the carbs on, some people don't. But I reckon we can get this we can get a tune out of this pretty quickly after we put it in, actually. Wow. So the more built up it is, the better. We've kept the air boxes off so we can get at the engine mountings. Right. These engine mountings on the bottom here have to be dead square. If they're slightly cocked one way or the other, it's a nightmare trying to fit them, because you can't actually get at them very easily once the engine's in. So we preempted it by that, but also not having the air boxes on means we can look down the sides here, and it helps us install it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Gearbox is on. Even this was a real surprise that the gear lever stays on as well during assembly. But that's the way it is, isn't it?
It is. It's tricky. We've put new bushes in this. Right. So we're going to do something with that, which we can do in the car. This rubber bush is still
another bush set.
But this itself now, all the play has gone out of the linkage, really.
Yeah, that bit. I'm looking down here. There's this bit in here.
Yeah, that bit is effectively just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit now, which should make the gear change a lot better.
Yeah, looks so smart.
And this is the high-tech...
Oh yes, the engine breather. Yeah, just put another pipe on it, mate.
Yeah, it's literally this thing, this casting here, hollow casting, with a rather lovely piece of hose pipe.
Yeah, B&Q special.
Exactly.
Yeah, no need to pay Lamborghini prices on that little bit of tube.
Exactly.
Yeah. Over the toilet. Yeah. And there we are. And there's the big hole waiting, which has all been done. I haven't actually been underneath, but this has all been painted and prepped and ready to accept the V12. We took it out. I'm trying to think when we took it out. About September time, isn't it? No, September last year, wasn't it? Yeah.
I dread
so
to
9
think.
months.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, complicated, as we say, by what's been going on. Cool. Right. Well, I will stand back and be prepared to be amazed. What should this go in?
So will we.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll be fine.
All right.
Well, judging by the amount of Lamborghini there are lying around here, you've had quite a lot of practice, really. I can't get over. How many are in at the moment?
Oh,
I don't know.
More than 10.
More than 10 Lamborghini V12s. I have to show there's a Miura down there, completely stripped back. We're going to look at that in a moment. But right. Just a matter of putting that in there.
Yes. Whip the engine in.
Yeah, we'll just whip the engine in.
Okay.
Right. There's lots of things for clearance here, isn't there? It's that gear stick, which is a complete pain, utter pain, and then the bit at the front, isn't there? The oil.
Yep.
Yes. Just where it catches on that bit down there.
Yeah, long up down there. Okay, guys? Yeah, go on. Okay.
You've not too many of these in Tesco's.
No.
You could probably begin to lower there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
It'll come towards the bulkhead anyway as it comes down.
True, not pull it back a bit.
Okay. Now I'll try that.
Need more angle, don't you think?
Okay. Down there, guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Just gently. Okay, hold it
Whoa.
there.
I do like that.
Okay. Do you want to probably
there or
come in a
thereabouts?
bit? Yeah, well, yeah. Might need a bit more, but we can come in a bit now. Towards the car. Okay. Hold it there. Want to lower him down a bit, Marcus?
Yeah.
You're right, okay, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah. So far, so good.
It's going in the hole.
Yeah, go on, let's go some more.
Okay, hold it there. Looking pretty perfect here, actually. Lower it down a bit, can't we?
You can.
Yeah. That's it.
So those engine mounts, they're tight, aren't they? So that's just the right width, strangely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how do they know that? Let's go down to those full plates down there. That's such a pretty engine. What we're waiting for is the geary that will appear out of that hole.
Right, you through now. Okay.
There it is. Oh. That's right. So that's one. And then the next game is that.
Good to go.
Are we at the point we want to get Jack on?
Yeah, I'll get Jack on now. So you're inside the chassis rails with the engine
Just
now.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So it's just,
There we go.
It's just that.
So we're putting a trolley jack under the tail housing on the gearbox now to just to take the weight off the back.
And we're right up against the cam. This end. That's the bulkhead here.
A little bit more.
Right, hang on.
Right.
We do this to stop the chassis legs or the manifold getting all that lovely coating getting damaged. Down a bit more?
Yeah, we got room to come down a fraction.
It's just there. Remind, it's the oil filter, isn't it, that goes on the canister. Horizontal.
Keep going?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Good to hear you.
Yeah.
Nice and slow.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Good to hear you.
Clearance.
Yes, no.
So close, perilously close. Okay, touch more. I can see a gap here, so.
It's
Yeah.
clear. There it is.
Okay, so how's it looking on the mountains?
About a half-inch off.
Really?
We're off. Well, if you go down a bit more, Keith, it might line up there. If you're happy to go down, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they? There they are.
Right, I'm lined up now there.
We're on. The engine mounts are on. Well, that's sort of pressing the hole then.
It is.
Just go down very slowly, do you?
Yeah, we're on actually. We are on both sides.
There it is. All goes slack. Oh.
Hello.
That was about 25 minutes, that was. So have you run out of blue rope then?
Well, you know.
There was a rush on it, wasn't there? After you showed it, everybody went for blue ropes. You had to go back to slings, didn't
Masks, gloves, and blue rope have been an incredibly short supply.
Yeah, we're back to the bloody slings. Not
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
Oh well. Still did the job though, didn't it?
Oh yes.
Blue rope would have been better, but
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say already that looks super smart.
It's not too shabby, is it?
What an engine. What an engine. That's the water pump for anybody wondering what that is. Distributor, crazy distributor. And the plug's near impossible to get at. We're hiding down there. Wow. God, that looks nice.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Aha. Oh, there we are. They're the old ones.
That's it, yeah.
And there was something wrong with the distributor cap then, you reckon?
Didn't you say it was cracked
There's
somewhere?
a piece missing off it, yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah.
And they're available then?
They are. Not the cheapest thing in the world.
Oh, no, tell me.
Got to get him a chair.
Yes.
Yeah. Go on then, spill the beans.
Well, you can buy a repro one for about just under 300 quid.
Right. Oh, right.
That's the cheap version, by the way.
And what's that one? That's
No,
been fitted?
that is. They are fine. They are serviceable.
Right.
I've had a good look at them.
But they're £300.
Yes, but the original equipment one is 900.
Is it 900?
Yes. And the rotor arm, you ready for this?
Yeah.
£250.
Is it?
Plus VAT.
Plus VAT. My goodness. Mine was fine, I'm hoping, was it? Or was that a new one?
It is fine.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And how many sets of points are there in there? There's
4.
full sets of...
Yeah, but what we'd like to do, once we've got it running all right and all set up, we'd like to actually fit electronic ignition to it. Okay. It's not a fortune.
No.
And it just makes such a difference.
Right. Look at that though. Look at them all shiny and white and without greasy paw marks.
I'm going to put on some new gloves on.
Oh, you're going to put new gloves on to touch my fantastic shiny leads. I'm guessing they're numbers.
They are.
Yep. That's the other side actually. Yep. I'll do your swap.
Are they my original numbers, or is that with the leads? They come with the leads.
Oh, that's all new.
Right.
Yeah, that's all new. The original Lamborghini HT leads from period were black.
Were they?
With these really crude sort of round resistor caps on the end of them, which weren't brilliant. I mean, this is what you can get now, which is better. We could make up leads which look like the originals if you want, but it's just not worth it.
What's the idea with the white socks at the end then?
That's a very good question, and I wish I had a good answer.
No, just look pretty.
Exactly. Yes.
They do look pretty.
So that you have to have super, super, super clean hands to work on.
Yeah, new set of gloves. Right. I'm getting nowhere near. Right, well, we're getting closer and closer. Now oil is going in, and you were telling me this isn't fancy synthetic Uber oil at all. This is your supermarket special, what is it, 1540 oil. What's that?
Well, the reason for that is people make the mistake of thinking that my engine needs the best, it needs synthetic oil, etc., etc., etc. On one level you're right, but not when it's running in. An engine of this age, you need almost the poorest quality oil you can find, but we're still having molecular changing, which all oils do these days, so that the piston rings can bed into the bores properly and bed into the honing.
Right.
Otherwise, the whole point of synthetic oil is it glazes everything inside the engine.
Right.
And it can't, if you do, it can't actually bed in properly.
Which is actually, I remember you always used to have a running in oil, didn't you? And
Exactly.
You used to have after 600 miles, you go to your dealer and have taken out, flushed out, and proper oil put in.
Yeah.
Well, never.
We filled the engine with warm water.
Yeah, I thought that was warm. I've no idea why it's warm water.
Oh well, it's a very complex technical reason.
Is it?
Yeah. It's because our hot water tap flows water quicker than the cold one.
Ah, right. So that's not the most technical reason, but yeah, understandable. It's quite nice on a chilly day.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, it's always warm water in Tyrrell's workshop. Yeah.
We're going to put the last bit of the exhaust on.
Right, I saw that. That's the last bit. And we're getting quite close, aren't we, actually?
We are,
Where petrol pipes are all on, aren't they?
Yeah. That's the servo, actually, that one.
Oh, coming off that, sorry, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, there we are.
There we are, there's your fuel pipe, that's it, yeah.
Why has it got two servos as well? What's that all about?
It's
two different brakes?
One front, one rear. It's a tandem master cylinder, so they're both built into that.
Right.
But I suspect, one of the things about the Espada is the fact that it's incredibly well packaged as a car. There's no spare room on it. So I think it's probably a space issue, actually.
Well,
they're what are called Girling Mark II servos.
Right.
But a sort of a tandem master cylinder on the servo would be longer. You could just about squeeze it in there. Probably just availability or whatever. Because over this side you got the air conditioning condenser and everything, that little unit.
Yeah.
It's really well packaged car.
It is. Carburetors, final bit. These are all being rebuilt, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
Okay.
So while we're waiting for the oil to drain so I can recheck it, I'm doing a base setting on the carburetor idle mixtures.
Okay.
Normally, Espadas and Hiramas, this sort of engine with the DCOEs on, the idle mixtures are about 1 turn out. Between 3/4 and 1 turn. So that's what I'm going to just basically set them at until we start to up and fine tune.
Okay.
But that'll be good enough for the moment. So we just go along each one, seat the screw, and then half, almost 1 turn out. Dead easy. Half, just there.
Screw it down till it stops.
Yeah.
About.
and then almost a full turn, which, as I say, is more often than not where they are if everything's in good nick.
This is just idle.
That's just idle mixture,
yeah.
Right. But of course it affects it quite significantly, particularly on a new engine.
Oh, there is choke. Do we use
Oh,
a
never
choke?
use the choke.
Never use a choke.
No, because what happens on these old Ferraris and Lamborghinis is they've got a very rudimentary choke system, which is like a wire that's connected to a slider in the dash. And what happens is people pull them out and say, "Oh yes, let's use the choke."
Yeah.
Problem is the wire doesn't go all the way back when you push it in, with the result that you're driving around with the engine on semi-choke all the time, and it can actually wear out the top rings.
Oh, I see.
Which you don't want on an engine like this.
This is the choke here, isn't it? This little,
that's right.
little one here.
Yeah, that's why they're not connected.
No wires to be seen.
Yeah, because just a few stabs, like the usual Weber carburetor trick.
Yeah.
From cold, a few stabs on the throttle, and you know, if you read the brochure on cars of this era, they sort of tell you should only use the choke below sort of minus 10 degrees C or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Madness. Right. Well, exhaust is next then.
Yep. So we'll send it up, get that on.
This car's got one of these stainless steel exhausts on it, isn't it? Some are mild steel and some are stainless steel. But I've always had a suspicion that they sound different depending on what they're made of.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
304 stainless, which is what this is, has got quite a high nickel and chrome percentage in it. That's how it doesn't rust. But the molecular structure of chrome and nickel is the molecules are actually bigger than mild steel, so it allows more noise through the actual wall of the exhaust. That's my belief anyway.
Right.
So they always sound a bit sort of fizzy, for want of a better way of putting
tinny.
it.
Or there's a
tinny. That's the word.
There's a base that comes from mild steel exhaust.
Yes.
Isn't it? Well, I never.
And that's my. I could be proved wrong by the professor of exhaust technology, but I think that's the. I think that's the reason.
That's it. So exhaust on. Exhaust on. Oil pressure switch in there.
Yep. Need to connect that up.
Go find a can of petrol from somewhere.
Yes.
And we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Is that 23 litres of oil we put in this?
It's not as bad as Countach though, is it?
Well, no. Yeah, Countach and Daytona. Yeah.
Does look good with those trumpets in.
It does, doesn't it? It's a shame to cover them up.
Leaky petrol pipe's never good, is it?
Never good.
Yeah.
Particularly above an exhaust.
Right, we're getting pretty close to the start-up then. We're fuel in. We've got the oil pressure switch connected. We're there, aren't we? So
We are. We're dangerously close to. So this is something that is never done.
No.
In the history of motor trade, this is.
No.
You start the car for the first ever time. Start the freshly rebuilt engine with customer present.
and a camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, with a couple of followers.
But as I keep saying, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, exactly. Now, we're also, there's probably going to be a bit of smoke comes up if it does fire, isn't it?
Yes.
Just because of oily.
Well, the exhaust manifolds in particular, they've had human hands touching them with grease, and that comes off. So don't be alarmed if there's anything short of actual flames.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah, we want no flames. Right. Oh well. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're literally going in.
You're pumping it in,
yeah.
right?
Oh, Pete's.
Pete's gone off to get a fire extinguisher. There we are. Yeah.
You never know.
No, good plan.
All right. If you turn the ignition on, I'll give it a few pumps.
It's been on the inlet on that.
Right. Watch the oil pressure, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't. Yeah. I'm just going to raise the idle a bit because she's. I can't keep it running there.
That's nuts, isn't it? That was as instant as you could ever wish for.
I swear to you, this is not a fix. That was genuinely the first ever time it started.
It still amazes me, all those pistons jumping up and down and valves and just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look, the wheels go around as well. So yeah, sitting just over 1,000 RPM.
I can't believe that. First time.
Look, I've never seen an engine start up as clean as that from absolute rebuild. Amazing. That was the result. That was the result. There's no smoke or anything, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. A little bit of steam from that one, that's it. That was alright, wasn't it? Unbelievable.
I have to confess, even I am astonished by how well that went. Okay, let's just get it out there.
And I've got around, there's no leaks, no nothing really.
No, I know. After my 20 gazillion disclaimers, it just goes boom.
But as you said, it was the fact there was a lot of work Pete and Mark has been doing, getting the timing right and that sort of thing before we turn that key for the first time.
Exactly. Yeah.
God. So, what's next stages then? You're going to fettle then, just get it
we've got the wheel spinners done for you in black.
yeah.
They're back,
excellent.
so that's...
Yeah, we haven't time to show that yet.
And we need to... I've got some more Perspex panels, a light green and a dark green on the way to try and get the roof lit. That's proving more challenging than anticipated.
Yeah.
But apart from that, just set the carbs up, put the air boxes on, and start putting a few miles on it. Really.
Well, I'm absolutely chuffed. I just look at it, and I'm just in awe of this V12 and the way it started up, etc. So thank you, team, everyone. It's been fantastic. And well, I hope you've enjoyed that video as much as I have, watching this spark into life after 9 months of rebuild. If you have, well, keep watching, keep subscribing. There'll be more videos coming along very soon. Fantastic, guys. Here you go. Don't spill, good result. Very good result. Fantastic.